So inflation has been declining over the past year. However, over the past 12 months, the average rate of inflation still sits at around 5.4%. Now, interest rates in Australia have risen to the highest they've been in over 10 years, with some banks offering an interest rate as high as 5.5%, which is pretty much in line with inflation. However, after you take into account taxes that you would have to pay on the interest, any money that's still sitting in your high interest savings account is still being eroded away by inflation. But what if I told you that you could potentially earn a 6.8% annualized interest rate for 180 days for up to $100,000 in cash? All you'll need to do is deposit your money and begin earning interest straight away. Well, Moomoo is a new brokerage platform in Australia that has recently launched an offer to promote their new cash management feature called Cash Plus. With Cash Plus, they are offering a 6.8% interest rate for new customers for the first 180 days for balances of up to $100,000 of uninvested cash. And you can cash out at any time with no minimum deposits. Plus, if you deposit $100, you'll get 3 free shares. And if you deposit $2,000, you'll receive an additional 7 free shares for a total of 10 free shares valued at up to $3,300. Simply click the link in the description to sign up. Now, if you happen to have an idle cash balance of over $100,000 in your account, then you'll earn the base rate of 3.75% interest, which isn't that bad either. There is no minimum deposit required, meaning that you can deposit as little as you want or as much as you want, all the way up to $100,000. There's no account management fees, so you'll never have to worry about any hidden fees, and there's no lock-in periods like a term deposit. So you can deposit or withdraw your money at any time that suits you. The interest that you earned is also calculated daily and also paid daily as well. With a lot of high interest savings account, interest is calculated daily. However, interest typically is only paid at the end of the month. So what that means is that if you decided to withdraw all your money from Moomoo on the 20th of the month, then you would still earn all the interest that you would have accumulated over the past 19 days. Now, you might be wondering, how can Moomoo be paying an interest rate that is even higher than most high interest savings accounts in Australia? Well, the short answer is simple. It's not actually a bank account. And the Cash Plus program is a cash management feature of a share trading platform, not a bank. Essentially, when you deposit funds into a brokerage platform like Moomoo, but haven't bought any shares yet, your money typically sits in a designated bank account, which can potentially earn interest. Now, most brokers typically choose to keep that interest for themselves. However, some, like Moomoo, will decide to pass that back on to the customers. In the case of Moomoo, your money is actually held in designated accounts with CBA, which earns them around 3.75% interest, which they are then passing on to you. Now, the remaining gap between the variable base rate of 3.75% and the 6.8% interest rate per annum is then subsidized by Moomoo themselves at its own expense. If you decided to deposit the full $100,000 for the full 180 days, then the maximum interest that you could earn is a total of $3,353, and the amount subsidized by Moomoo themselves is approximately $1,500. Now, this cash management feature isn't new or groundbreaking. A lot of other brokerage platforms in the Australian market also offer something similar. For example, Webull and Interactive Brokers both offer a similar cash management feature where you earn interest on any uninvested cash in your brokerage account. But the key difference is that none of them offer an interest rate as high as Moomoo. Another question you might be wondering is Moomoo safe? After all, you might not have heard of them before in Australia. Well, Moomoo was actually founded in Silicon Valley and is owned by Futu, which is a company listed on the Nasdaq. They have over 21 million users globally, and they've only recently entered the Australian market, which is probably why you've never heard of them before. But in the short time that they have been in Australia, they've already been making an impact, having been named the online broker rising star of 2024 by Money Australia. They're also regulated by the ASIC and other regulators from around the world, which includes the SEC and FINRA in the United States, SFC in Hong Kong, and the MAS in Singapore, and JFSA in Japan. So you can rest assured that your money will be held securely and in compliance with all the regulations required in Australia. Now, as I mentioned earlier, when you deposit money into Moomoo, your funds will be stored in a designated account with CBA, where your money is fully segregated from Moomoo's own funds, meaning they technically can't access it without your authorization. Now, besides its Cash Plus program, Moomoo is also a great app to invest in both the Australian and US stock markets. The Moomoo app has cool professional grade tools without being too scary or intimidating. Whether you're a new or experienced investor, Moomoo offers customizable features for you. From the ability to simply just invest your money, to easily look at company financials, all the way to looking at more advanced tools and analytics. You can also stay up to date with the latest stock market news and analyst ratings to see which stocks they recommend buying and which they recommend selling. Another great reason to sign up with Moomoo is that when you compare Moomoo's brokerage fees to other Australian platforms, they are one of the lowest on the market. The very first trading platform that I ever traded with was with CommSec, and I paid over $50 in brokerage for one of the first investments that I ever made. If I compare that to Moomoo, that same trade would have only costed me around $12, which is a fraction of the price as what I paid with CommSec, saving me over $40 for that one trade. And that saving isn't just a one-time thing as well. Every time you make a trade, I'm making that saving. So it really does compound over time and the fees really do accumulate. This is why fees are so important, because you wouldn't want them to eat at your overall earnings. So if all of those features sound good, then sign up to Moomoo using my link in the description box below and receive an interest rate of up to 6.8% annualized for cash balances of up to $100,000 for 180 days. Plus receive up to 10 free shares valued at up to $3,300 when you deposit at least $2,000. If you guys learned anything new or like the content, make sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel, and as always guys, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video.